The calculate function in Power BI appears simple. You put a filter inside and it works. Then you use the same logic in related table and your numbers don't match. At times you can't even complete a formula. In this video, I'll walk you through two examples. First, calculate on a single table where everything works as expected. Then calculate in related tables where we'll hit a challenge while writing the formula. We'll see how to resolve that and get the result. After this video, you'll know how to think before you write the calculate function so that your measures return the right result every time. So let's start with a simple example. Here is an example of a single table. This is a database of movies made over a period of time. We need to find the total budget for movies released in the year 2016. So let's write a measure for that. New measure. Total budget for 2016. Calculate. The first parameter is expression. Since we are trying to calculate the total budget, we will use the sum function. Sum expects a column. Therefore, we will provide the budget column for the movies table. The next parameter that the calculate function expects is the filter criteria. Here we will write a condition to filter the movies released in the year 2016. To get the year from the released date column, we can use the function year, release date equal to 2016. Close the bracket. I will bring the measure to the canvas. A total of $10 billion were spent on movies released in 2016. This was simple as we only had one table. Now let's look at an example where we use calculate with related tables. And this is where we will understand how calculate works and in which scenarios it doesn't. So here is an example where we have related tables. Let's look at the orders table. We only have the product quantity for each order and do not have the total sales. The products table contains the unit price for each product. Let's start writing a measure for calculating total sales. Total sales calculate. We will use the sum function. Now we need to multiply the product quantity and price. So let's take the quantity from the orders table. And if I try to multiply it with the price in the products table, the products table does not show up. Why is that? This is because the calculate function is not an iterator. It does not go line by line in a table. Multiplying the quantity for each order with the price is a line by line operation. Therefore, calculate will not work here. SUMX function will work just fine here, and I will include a link for that in the description. If we want to use the calculate function, then we will need the sales value in a single column. Let's go back to the orders table and get the sales value there. I'm going to create a new column, sales. Here I will multiply the quantity in the orders table with the price in the products table. And I get the sales value for each order. Now I will go back to writing the calculate function. Calculate sum. And the column will be the sales column that we have just created. There is no filter condition, so we will just say orders, indicating that we want to include the entire orders table. Our measure is ready. Let's bring it onto the canvas. The total sales is 6 million. Now let's calculate the sales for the month of January. This is where we do have a filter condition while using the calculate function. Calculate sum. We will add the column sales in the orders table. And for the filter condition, we will say the month for order date should be equal to 1, as January is the first month. Bring the measure to the canvas, 773,000. So that's the calculate function for you. Key point to remember that it works differently from iterators like SUMX, averagex, and so on. It is one of the most extensively used functions in Power BI, and if you're comfortable with it, then it just makes Power BI easier for you. That's it for this video. I hope you found this useful. And if you'd like to learn more about Excel and Power BI, consider subscribing our channel, Analytics Success. Thanks for watching.